Hi BookTube, my name's Nadine. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to do an update on my 50 States Reading Challenge for the month of February. And we're going to choose the book for March and the state, obviously. So 50 States Reading Challenge is where I am travelling kind of vicariously through the states, reading a book set in each one. Originally I was planning it as though it was an actual trip, looking for flights or, train times and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm now just picking at random because my itinerary sucked anyway. So in February, I chose North Carolina, and I couldn't pick between two books, so I read both. And I also watched a film set in North Carolina. So first of all then, the first book that I read was Book Lovers by Emily Henry. So this follows Nora, who is a New York literary agent. And it kind of plays on, the trope where these people go to these small towns and fall in love with a small town person with a failing business, and they leave their hard-faced partner, the city person, behind. Well, Nora is that city person who keeps getting left behind for these small town girls. And so yeah, she's kind of given up on the whole romance thing. And then her sister Libby convinces her that they need a sister's break, and she takes Nora to Sunset Falls, this small town in North Carolina, where Libby is hoping that Nora will fall in love with her own small town guy and, have this wonderful romance and happily ever after. However, when she gets there, Nora runs into this editor that she met once in New York, and they did not get along. And yeah, it follows from there. I've got to say, I don't like romance. If anybody has followed me for any length of time, you kind of know that every so often I will try one, I'll get a quarter of the way through and ditch it because I just find it boring. But I absolutely adored this book from start to finish. It was one of those where I was sitting up until 2 or 3 in the morning, just one more chapter, just one more chapter. The dialogue I found fantastic. The chemistry between Nora and the love interest, it was so good. And yeah, the banter that they had was so much fun. It was such a fun read. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed that. And as a non-romance lover, yeah, I'd recommend it to anybody, really. I'm going to check out some more by the author. I'm hoping that her other books are as good. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm a romance girl now. Who knows? So we'll see. So yeah, that was a winner. And then I read Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. So this follows Kaya, who at a very young age is abandoned by her family to raise herself in the North Carolina marshes. And so it's very much like it's a coming of age story. It's like an ode to nature, and it's a mystery. However, now let me start by saying I did enjoy this book. I've given it 4 stars. It's maybe more like 3.5, but yeah. I enjoyed the coming of age aspect of it. I did find some of the writing a little bit clunky, like around the dialogue and stuff like that. But overall, I enjoyed it. The mystery side of things, I think, wasn't strong enough. And it just felt very much like a plot device just to explore other themes, which is fine. But yeah, I think it could have been a little bit stronger. And I found that side of things very predictable. But overall, I enjoyed Kaya's coming of age, and and the way that she pulled herself through so many hardships, if a tad unbelievable. But yeah, I enjoyed that also overall. The film that I watched for it was, I was going to watch Where the Crawdads Sing before I read it, and then I realised I've part way through reading it, I have no interest in watching the film, so I didn't. As much as I loved like all the nature writing side of the book, I just don't I don't want to watch what I've just read. It didn't interest me enough. So I'm into my horror films, so I googled horror films set in North Carolina, and the top of most of the lists was The Descent, which is backwards because I'll put a picture up. So yeah, so I watched that. I've been meaning to rewatch it for a long time anyway. But while I was watching it, I kind of thought, I don't know, something felt a bit off. So I did a little bit of research while I was watching it. And although it's set in North Carolina, it's actually filmed in Scotland. But yes, I watched that anyway. That follows a group of women who, a year after the death of one of their husband, and daughter, they go on a caving expedition, and yeah, they're not alone. I think most people have probably watched this one already, but it's a good film, and I enjoyed watching it again, but not filmed in North Carolina. But that got me thinking. Actually, I might start doing a series of videos of books set in, films set in different areas, because I find a lot of the time when I'm looking for these books and these films, I'll go through lists of books set in whatever state, and when I do a little bit more research, they don't even touch the state, and so it gets quite frustrating. So I thought I might do a series of videos of books set in different places. So if like me, when you do travel places, you want to read something set there, you've got a list. So onwards then, North Carolina, tick. Let's see where I'm going next. So right, so next will be, oh, it's all stuck together, Maryland. Right, I'm going to do a bit of research and pick a book. I'm pretty sure I have nothing set in Maryland. So I'm going to do a bit of research, have a look through my library and through my Kindle, and let you know what I'm going to read. Catch you in a bit. Hi guys, so I went through a Goodreads list of books set in Maryland, and I was starting to despair a little bit, thinking I'm going to have to buy something, because I'm really trying hard to stick to this 100 books challenge as well. But I have one book on the list, and I've dug it out, and it was Nora Roberts' of Blood Brothers. This is, I think, the first part of a trilogy. I have no idea what it's about. So it says, in the town of Hawkins Hollows, it is called the Seven. Every 7 years, on the 7th day of the 7th month, strange things happen. It began when 3 young boys accidentally unleashed an ancient evil. Caleb Hawkins can never forget what happened in the woods 21 years ago, and neither can Hawkins Hollow. For every 7 years, there are a few weeks in July when the locals do unspeakable things, and then don't seem to remember them. The collective madness has made itself known beyond the town borders, and has given Hawkins Hollow the reputation of a village possessed. It is this modern-day legend that draws reporter and author Quinn Black to Hawkins Hollow. She hopes to make the eerie happenings the subject of her next book. Caleb Hawkins, descendant of the town founders, has agreed to talk to her. It is only February, but Cal has already seen and felt the stirrings of evil. He will need help from his best friends Fox and Gage, and from Quinn. She has seen the signs as well, and is somehow connected to the town and to Cal. Together they will form the cornerstone of a group of men and women bound by fate, passion, and the fight against what is to come from out of the darkness. That sounds good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And it's got a quote here by Stephen King: Nora Roberts amazes me. I've never read anything by Nora Roberts. So hopefully I like it, and because I know she's got a lot of books out there. So that'll be good. And then I had a quick look at films, horror films set in Maryland as well. And there was a few there. So there you've got all the Blair Witches set in Maryland. And yeah, I love those films. So that'll be fun to revisit. Night Beast, which I remember the cover art for that, but I can't remember if I've ever actually seen it before. I think that was an 80s horror. So I probably have. I love 80s horror the best. The Bay, which was a really good film as well. And then one that I haven't seen definite, and that is Snakehead Terror, which was like a sci-fi channel movie. So yeah, lots of good stuff to do, lots of good stuff to watch and read in March. So looking forward to it. There were some really good books actually set in Maryland. It's just unfortunately I didn't own any of them. So there was like Kindred by Octavia Butler. I'm saying there was loads and I can't remember now. There was a few cozy mysteries as well. But yeah, let me know if you think you would like me to do a series of, you know, books set in. I think I'd quite like to do that. So yeah, let me know if it's something you'd be interested in, because I won't do it if nobody's going to watch. But yeah, that is it then. I will speak to you guys again in a couple of days, I'm sure. But let's chat in the comments. Let me know if you've read any Nora Roberts. Let me know if you read this one, or if you've got any other recommendations for books or films set in the state. I will catch you next time. Bye.